When the state legislature is in session, different groups head to St. Paul every day to advocate for their specific cause. It is a very common sight to see a group holding a rally inside the state capitol rotunda. But this week, one rally had a different look to it. The rally was being led by people who are not even old enough to vote. Ben has more on Youth Day at the Capitol.
This week, youth of all different ages and from all across the state descended upon the state capitol for Youth Day at the Capitol 2013.
The Youth Day at the Capitol is a day for people to come and empower youth. We really like to have our youth talk to legislators and talk about the programs they're in, talk about the services that they're getting, and talk about the relationships that they're building with the people in the organizations that provide those services, because legislators love to hear the stories of the youth. And there's endless stories about these youth that are turning their lives around, doing wonderful things, and we bring them all together for the Youth Day at the Capitol so legislators can hear those stories.
The day started with a rally in the state capitol rotunda. From there, the youth were able to take Capitol tours, watch a live Senate floor session, do a Capitol scavenger hunt, eat in the Capitol cafeteria, and see a presentation about the day in the life of the state capitol. Aside from all the fun activities planned for the youth, the main focus of the day was bringing their stories directly to their legislators.
But really the intent of today is to have as many legislator meetings with youth and the staff as we can. Last year we had about 48 meetings with different legislators. We think that we're on par to well exceed those number of meetings that we have today.
Youth intervention organizations, under the leadership of the Minnesota Youth Intervention Programs Association, organize the Youth Day at the Capitol each year as a way to help legislators understand their desire to grow youth intervention resources in Minnesota.
These legislators, if they understand what the programming is, really get behind it. The people that support youth programming are generally, it's not a partisan issue. It's about people see it as an economic benefit and a social benefit and community safety. So these legislators love to hear, and once they hear, they get so engaged, and usually that can kind of sway them to get more involved to understand what issues that youth in their communities are facing.
The sheer number of youth that fanned out across the Capitol complex for one day this week made their message hard to ignore.
We had 175 adults register. Generally, historically over the years, we have about a 2-to-1 ratio, so for every one staff, we have about 2 youth. So we had a lot of people register this morning that hadn't registered. I believe we have about 200 adults here, which you could extrapolate. We probably have 400 youth from over Minnesota that are here today, all to talk about the importance of youth intervention services. So it's a great day. We keep getting bigger and bigger. The first year we did this, we had a pretty small number representing Minnesota, but it just gets bigger and bigger, and our goal is to make it bigger every year because there's power in numbers, and not so much in terms of leverage, but just getting the story out, just letting people really know what it is we do and what the outcomes are.
The Youth Day at the Capitol itself can be seen as a youth intervention program, as youth who may have been cast off by some in society are empowered to make a difference.
This is really about empowering youth. We understand the youth are the future, and if you notice at the rally, we had youth that were leading it. There's so many sharp youth. These kids are incredible, and the stories that they have to tell, and we tried to engage them. We had youth on the planning committee for the first time this year, and that's where we came up, let's not just have all adults talk at the Capitol and speak in the legislative eve. Let's get youth up there. Let's talk to them and have them empower the youth, because the more youth are engaged, the more they can feel empowered, and the better off they are to be successful as adults.
As youth intervention advocates work to cultivate a community where youth from all backgrounds are equally empowered, their message is simple.
Every kid has an ability to do something good. It's our job as adults to help them find that avenue.
For North Metro TV News, Ben Hale reporting.